What's up, you guys? Jake Adams here, coming to you from the second day of MACNA. And boy, do I have some catching up to do, because yesterday I was actually really sick. I was walking around like a zombie and just had like a nasty one-day bug. So what's cool about that though is, although I didn't really get that much work done, I still walked around the show. I still got a good feel for some of the really cool new gear here at MACNA 2017 in New Orleans. And I am frankly blown away and surprised. So definitely gonna take you guys on a very personal, intimate tour of the biggest reef show in America. So let's go. As usual, I hope that some of you managed to stop by the Reef Builders booth, come say hello, and pick up some free swag, including our coral poster, which is only available in person. And we have a few more of our blue facts, and then our commemorative Reef Stock wristband. So yeah, thanks to everybody of you who, by the time you're watching this, MACNA is probably over. But for those of you who came and stopped and said hello. Here we have the new Akamai KPM water pump. I haven't even talked to anybody about it yet, but you guys know how much of a fan I am of the KPS water pump. And so the S&M designation is for the smaller pump. So this is the smaller KPS pump right here. It's about the size of, I don't know, I guess a plum. And then over here is the Akamai KPM, which is more about the size of an apple. And knowing Akamai's new penchant for good value, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a really good price pump with good flow and all the same features that we came to love from the KPS. So this looks like a brand new size of the Ice Cap Gyre Flow pump. What's cool is it's actually quite a little shorter. You can see here next to my medium-sized latte that this is actually one of the smallest gyre pumps we've seen so far. And it's got a completely different controller than we're used to. So you guys have seen the Glamorca pump, and this is exactly pretty much the same thing for the US market, the Ice Cap 3K Gyre Flow pump. So this is something that you come to know. And here's the smallest version, the Ice Cap 2K. And actually I'm really digging the, I'm guessing it's gonna be an LCD screen for interaction and programming of the pump. It's kind of got the same button as the regular gyre pump for the Glamorca, for the Max Spec, for the Ice Cap. This Ice Cap 2K, man, I'm expecting some big things from the small package, and probably a very reasonable price too for some of the smaller to medium-sized tanks. This is one of the most exciting products here at the show. It doesn't look like anything we've seen before, because this is an adjustable aquarium filter roll filter, or just roll filter. This is the clear filter from CoralView. Really cool, and here you can see it in its completely compact size. And what makes this filter roll filter the best, or really one of the most interesting, is that it's expandable. So this is the same version right here that's just been completely stretched out to the max to accommodate a larger sump, more roll, higher surface area, I'm guessing, with subsequent higher water flow through. There appears to be maybe a few extensions on this one to make it that big, and maybe a couple more accessories here to accept the incoming water. But if you haven't seen these filter rolls yet, they're really interesting devices that basically automatically adjust the waste. They automatically roll the filter to keep a new side clean for the incoming water all the time. And basically this is keeping your aquarium very clear. It's exporting nutrients at the same time. And it's also keeping your water super duper clear. Very cool. So this looks to be like a really cool demo sump from CoralView, and there's some kind of interesting fluidized media react here on the side. There's a divider in the middle right there. So basically you have two media reactors, one on each side. Really cool. Here you can see an example of how the clear filter is going to look inside of the sump. Right there you can see kind of the dirty side has already started to build up. And then on this side, looks like we have kind of a built-in LED, in-tank LED refugium or macroalgae scrubber. So I don't know how this comes out, maybe it doesn't. You can see some LED strips down there. Very interesting concept from CoralView. Wow, this is very cool. So I just walked up on the CoralView booth, and here in what looks to be a reef octopus themed aquarium and some Octo controllers, we have some brand new style of propeller water pumps. Now the side of it looks a lot like a Vortec, but actually it seems to be using a similar technology to that we saw in the Wave Puck from Waveline. And maybe this is a transfer of technology, but here you can definitely see that familiar kind of adjustable base, magnetic base, the pump, and the transfer of power that goes through. Very cool to finally see this style of pump actually becoming available. So yeah, if you hold it like this, it looks just like a Vortec pump, but the rotor is actually really different. The motor's inside here. This is completely internalized motor, and yeah, just sits on this magnet like that. And you can tell definitely from this material right here that this is a prototype, so it's probably going to be a while before we see these available for market, but it's really cool to see a further development of this water pump, and can't wait to ask the guys about this device a little bit more. We got a small pump, small version here, and a much larger version right there. Man, it seems I just can't leave the Coral View booth, because everywhere I look there's something really neat, like this crazy kind of Coca-Cola bottle shaped protein skimmer from Octo. This is the new S130, and it's got a wild new design, mostly just a lot more curvature and some really interesting molded parts. I'm sure this is going to be a beast when it comes to protein skimming. Oh wow, look at that diffuser blade. The diffuser blade is also like, looks like a piece of UFO. Definitely going to get some clips of that running when the show actually opens up. But thankfully, we actually have a model over here that's kind of broken down so we can see everything. Look at this diffuser plate. So it's injection molded, very neat. Looks like it probably pops off. It's got little nipples right there on the export, and kind of a neat rounded shaped cup. But the body is where it's at, man. Look at that wild body. It really looks like a bottle or something. Looks like we got the screw threads right there already built into the top, and a very interesting outflow pipe. Very cool. So this is a swanky looking new protein skimmer. Although it's got a lot of curves, it still is a traditional needle wheel internal pump protein skimmer with a diffuser plate, and very cool new styling from Octo. So this is the S130 protein skimmer. Okay, so here we have a little playpen for some Stax rocks. And you guys have been asking me a lot of questions about these, and these are just slabs of marker rock that's been sliced into semi-flat planes, which makes it almost child's play, basically, to build fairly stable and interesting structures, even with one hand as I'm shooting this with the other. Yeah, see, look how nice and stable that is. I mean, obviously it can get a little bit better with some practice, but yeah, it looks like the Stax rocks will be ready for market soon. Looks like they're going to come in a 5-pound, a 20-pound, and a 40-pound box, hopefully with a variety of sizes. And yeah, I look forward to playing with those in the future, and definitely doing a tank just with this funky stacked semi-Lego architecture. Here's a first look at the brand new and wild new design of the Turbine Duo centrifugal pump from MACNA. As you can see, it's got a centrally mounted motor, and this motor spindle basically has a volute on both sides of the pump. So you have an inlet on both sides, and these spin basically in the same rotation, and they both have dual outlets. So you have 2 outlets here, so you can actually drive the water flow, one outlet to your tank, one outlet to a chiller, or a protein skimmer, or a recirculated protein skimmer, or a media reactor manifold. So alternatively, there's also a very interesting Y fitting that can combine the flow of these 2 outlets, so you can have just one big thing of water flow going to your tank. So really interesting new design. I can't wait to get my hands on one of these, take it apart, see how these volutes work. And I understand that you can actually cap off one side of this pump, and that way you just have a really low profile controllable DC return pump. So MACNA making some big moves here with their new Turbine Duo. What a wild new pump to introduce and excite the aquarium hobby with. So I'm still over at the MACNA booth, and I came to check out their Turbine Duo pump. You can see we got 2 returns there, basically going to the tank with 2 separate lines. But a little bit more exciting than that is right next to it we have an interesting device that we've been keeping an eye on for such a long time. This is a Mindstream aquarium monitor. It's actually in action, so it's working here, and these results are being reported back to the server. We're definitely going to swing by the Mindstream booth, find out get an update on when this device is going to be available. And man, it's just really exciting to see one actually working on a tank. So can't wait to find out more about it. This is my first look at the Vectra S1, and boy is this a tiny little controllable return pump. Looks so sharp and neat. Look how small that body is. And this is going to be the smallest new pump in the Vectra line of controllable pumps from Ecotech Marine. It's going to have EcoSmart Live. It has the Quiet Drive controller for the return. I think it's $275. And yeah, definitely going to have to switch out the M1 in my tank, which is throttled way back, and put an S1 on there instead. Very cool to finally see this pump in person. So my first interview of MACNA is with my homie Matt Wittenrich.
Good to see you, Jake.
Good to see you, dude, man. You like by far have one of the coolest things here at MACNA. Tell us what it is.
Well, thanks so much. Well, we have we're debuting. We got a new company first of all, and we're launching with 9 new species of angelfish. So everyone's talking about conspicuous angelfish and how cool they are, but for me, I think the coolest thing is kind of the new model that we're offering to people. So instead of trying to track these rare fish down, you can get them direct from our website. It's all retail direct. We offer what I think is a pretty cool guarantee for the industry. We'll call it industry leading, trying to change the way you view your buying experience with these fish. So we offer a 30-day guarantee, so risk-free. We want you guys to succeed. These fish are guaranteed to eat, guaranteed to thrive. Before they leave the hatchery, they're all eating pellet food.
So I see you're in the Piscine Energetics booth. Do you have a diet specifically for these guys, or just a recommended one?
We have a recommended diet. In the hatchery we feed a lot of PE, and we think it's important, especially for a lot of these rare fish, where the #1 reason why they don't survive, when they collect them from the wild, is getting them to eat. So we actually train them to eat PE pellets before they leave the hatchery, and we think that's really important to give them a lot more roughage in the diet.
Very cool.
So kind of back off a lot on the protein, give them some roughage, and hopefully give them a long life in captivity.
So tell us what we have in this tank. Obviously there's some conspics and some tiny Singapore angels. God, they're so cute.
Yeah, everyone loves the Singapore angels.
Are those blue lines kicking around?
There's the pair of blue lines in there going through their transitional phase, going from the black and yellow juvenile coloration to adults. There's 5 conspicuous angels in there, and there's quite a few little Singapores in there.
Very cool. So what is your supply of the conspics like?
We'll call it limited right now.
Limited right now. But do you think you're going to be successful, like in continuity with these guys?
Hopefully we can refine the techniques and we'll be able to offer them wholesale in the future. But right now it's just retail direct, and that we feel is a good way to control the quality and offer really good customer service to make sure these fish live and survive long term.
Very cool. Great talking to you, Matt. This is one of the coolest things a lot of us have ever seen on MACNA.
Oh, that's
and
great to hear.
Can't wait to hear more about them.
Good. Thanks, Jake.
All right, I'm at the Live Aquarium booth, and they have a very new, exciting announcement of a brand new reef salt. And we got the man himself, Kevin Cohen, to tell us all about it. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
It's good to see you. You know what? If you made a salt, I'm really excited about it. So tell us about it.
So we worked for many months to develop this salt here that we actually use in our coral farm. So we're really proud to announce that we're going to offer this for sale here in late September.
This is my favorite part. It's so important for salts to mix up clean. How do you feel about clean salts?
Clean salt's imperative. We mix up a couple thousand gallons of salt every other day. So obviously our mix barrels, by utilizing so much salt, we constantly have to clean those out. So we're really proud to get away from other types of salt and really focus on the Live Aquarium Professional Reef Salt here.
So the levels, are they natural seawater or are they elevated?
They're actually spec to our parameters of what we use, and the most important thing is the alkalinity levels of this salt is a little bit more conducive to growing acropora. I mean, a lot of us utilize or maintain our acro tanks at around 9 DKH, and that's where this salt comes into play, because it mixes up right around 9. 1350 to 1400 magnesium, and calcium of 440 to 450. So really perfect for what we do in our coral farm, and I feel really perfect. It's a perfect mix for end consumers that are growing acroporas and other stony corals.
Very nice. So tell me about the packages. I see a bag, a bucket, and a box. So you have a bag. How much does this mix up?
So this mixes up 25 gallons.
Okay. And you have the bucket.
I'm sorry, this mixes up 55 gallons of water.
So we got the 55-gallon bag.
55, a 180 mix bucket, and then a 205 mix box.
Very cool. And when will this salt be available?
So this salt will be available in mid to late September.
Okay.
And we're going to have an introductory offer as well. So if you sign up for the Drs. Foster and Smith fish emails, we'll actually send an email out. We're going to offer this bag here as a promotional offer. It's retails for about $24.99. And we're going to provide a $25 gift certificate. So you're basically going to get a free bag of salt so you can test it out.
So Live Aquarium is a legendary livestock supplier here in the United States. Very exciting to see them make their signature Reef Aquarium salt, and that'll be available on Live Aquarium, Drs. Foster and Smith, right?
Yeah, first on Drs. Foster and Smith, and then eventually on Live Aquarium as well.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Kevin.
Thanks, Jake.